Much like their cousins in Jevaltin and beyond, the people currently living in Arau belong to a species of human known for having fairly colorful hair, or at least more so than their sapiens ancestors. While there are no naturally occurring pink-haired folks running around, it is fairly common to see individual people with 2 or even 3 colors growing at the same time. Thus, the various cultures of Arau all tend to have quite extensive vocabularies to refer to the dozens of possible shades and combinations that exist. Though, of course, how this diversity is classified depends a lot on the individual culture, so the following is just an overview on how the Tehli people view these things. First of all, there are 6 basic colors, which are divided into the following 3 pairs: black and brown, red and orange, and finally yellow and white. And here it should also be said that, funnily enough, all of these color words are completely unrelated to their more regular color words. Indeed, these terms exist only to talk about hair, kinda like how you wouldn't say lemons are blonde unless you are being silly. Instead, these words seem to have evolved from the personal names of famous people who had that kind of hair. Or maybe it was the other way around, and there are indeed people who are just named the equivalent of ginger. It can be hard to tell sometimes. But that's not all. After all, they also need words to refer to the coats of people who have multiple colors, and this is where things really start to get granular. If someone has 2 colors but these are both from the same pair, so say red and orange, then there is no special word to refer to them. Indeed, the difference between 100% orange hair and 80% orange 20% red is not seen as large enough to warrant separate words. Each of the remaining 12 two-color combinations, however, does get its own name, and, unlike the names for the single colors, the etymologies for these are quite a bit more varied and often obscure. Sure, some are fairly clear, like the term for yellow plus brown, which just means sunflower-ish, but others aren't so straightforward, like the combination of black and white, which ultimately comes from a word for water. Perhaps it used to mean something like washed out, but who is to tell, really? In any case, there are yet more things that need to be described. After all, some people, though certainly not many, are born with 3 colors. And sure, it may be a very rare trait, but Tehlic beauty standards consider these 3-colored coats to be the most attractive. So naturally, they have quite a few words to describe them. First of all, this is the only category where the dominant color matters. Indeed, in terms of preference, there are 3 very clear tiers here. Most prized are those who have white as the main color, followed by those where black is dominant, and below that, everything else. And thus, the Tehli tend to go into a lot more detail when it comes to describing the white-based tricolor coats. Indeed, out of the 10 words they have to describe these calico coats, 6 of them are dedicated to describing the white-based ones. But that's not all, since this trait is both extremely rare and extremely desirable among the Tehli, most calico people you run into aren't, well, natural. And this has come to bother the Tehlic fashion industry so much that there is now a very convenient suffix you can add to someone's hair color to imply that it's fake. Be careful when using it though, most people tend to take it as an insult for some reason. But hey, true calicos can tell anyways. Or at least that's what they say, not that I would know.